Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and I've got something that I didn't think I would get on this channel, and that are some of the Eva Frame sets. So, originally these were candy toy display aisle things that you would see sometimes in hobby shops, but in my experience they were always at the supermarkets, and specifically Japanese supermarkets, obviously. But with these newer sets, this is the 04 frame. Is that the set that this was from? I believe so, but I could be wrong. But what's interesting is this is all in English. Here you can see the full lineup that this set came from. Originally, these were all separated into individual sections. You'd have to buy one, but you need the other. They've done that with like the Shodo, Yudo, Sodo lines of various Sentai figures, Tokusatsu stuff. The G-frame kits are in a similar setup, I believe, but I don't know. I've never built one of these Eva kits, and they just look kind of cool and quite large, I must say, for the price. I got this for a good deal, so I was quite happy. So, as you can see, and the reason it's ending up on this channel is we've got stuff on plastic sprues, and if you know me, and if you don't know me, I love building model kits, especially of nerdy robot stuff. And I haven't watched any of the Rebuild Eva stuff. I was telling my brother, I think the scars from End of Eva haven't healed yet after all these years. So I was quite hesitant to do that. But it does look like you are going to have to at least clip off the main armor pieces. You've got a couple of stickers there. And check this out. Here you can see the bulk of the body is one piece. But then you're going to have to finish it off, which is kind of cool. I wasn't aware of that. Here you can see the hands. What are they called? The progressive knives or something like that. It's been a long time since I watched anything Evangelion related. Of note is the fact that the majority of this is pre-painted. So you can see here all the individual pieces, and I wonder if we've got the directions on how to put it together. Nope, never mind. I wonder if it's any different in the Japanese releases, since, as you could see, there's literally nothing in Japanese on this kit. Huh. Which then leads me to believe that... Oh, there we go. I should have known better. You got to follow the QR code to build it. I was going to say, I just did that for some of the Soto Common Rider stuff. Should have known that. Lame. I like when they have it all printed on the inside of the box. But, nevertheless, it looks like a fairly standard, straightforward, easy to build figure. I'm curious about the plastic sprue quality. Now, usually I wouldn't do that. I would actually use the clippers, but I wanted to see because obviously with these kind of candy toy supermarket items, a lot of times they are designed for ease of building / purchase, and the pieces should pop right off. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing that, especially when you have lots of these tiny little parts, but that option does exist. So, something to be aware of. I'm kind of curious. I would like to see the head of our Eva. I mean, that's not a bad pre-paint job. And it looks like everything is actually painted for the back. I do like the fact that we've got the shoulders are not actually stickers. And it looks like on the chest piece... I mean, here I am just opening everything now. I was just going to wait and do it all off camera. You can see there's at least 2 different paint apps going on there. So that's kind of cool to see. I take back what I said. I guess there's nothing really going on with the back. But I can't remember what the back of an Eva kit looks like. So maybe that's normal. Anyway, give me a sec. I'll put this together. We'll see how it turns out. We'll grab a couple other kits to see how they compare if you're curious. So sit tight. Okay, our Eva unit is all put together and not in focus. Cool. I gotta say, this was a fun little kit. And I mean, it was a legit kit. You had to sit there and actually build it. Now, he is totally posable, and I really like the way that they designed the shoulder pad. So you have his actual arms, shoulder, whatever, armor piece here, attached on a hinge to the big booster shoulder things that attach on the back. Now, some of the armor only goes on the front half, whereas the legs, in atypical Bandai fashion, actually have plastic pieces that cover them. Now, the back of the calves were actually pre-painted, which was kind of cool, so that when you put the armor pieces on, that yes, I know I need to trim better, I just went ahead, clipped them, and rushed back into the room to get this guy filmed. It worked out pretty well. Now, I did end up succumbing to having to look online on how to build it, really only because I wasn't sure which direction the foot was supposed to go. But, I mean, that was about it. It's pretty self-explanatory. You know, there are a couple of extra plastic bits included for the non-finished frame. Why you would keep those around, I don't know. Joint posability is pretty decent, except for when you pop things off of the joints. But it does make a nice audible click when things go back in place. Eva's being typically lanky and hunched over. Got mine doing this, that. Stickers weren't really an issue, and I'd almost argue completely unnecessary if you're not going to be a big stickler for that, or they could get painted. Now, it may not have the intensity in quantity of parts that a typical 1/144th kit may have. Grabbing our RX-78 here, but look at the size. It's literally the same size as an RX-78, and he's still kind of hunched over. And the price, I'd say, is adequate. Like I said, I got mine for under 20. It seems fair. I mean, all this stuff seems jacked up, crazy expensive these days as it is. So I'm not too, you know, flummoxed in that regard. A Bandai 30-minute sister, just about the same scale. If you want her hanging out and dancing with the Evas, that is entirely your prerogative. Kamen Rider being a little bit larger, but the Figure Eyes line is their own thing. Probably this is going to be closer in scale and size to the Soto line of riders, which I don't know if I've ever discussed, but if I haven't, we'll have to rectify that. These are also kind of candy toys, but you'll see he's got a ridiculous amount of stickers all over him, and just like the Eva Frame lineup, we've got all kinds of weird exotic characters that otherwise don't tend to get figures made. But this is what I mean by typical Bandai. Everything is just kind of left to its own on the back. Nothing is painted. These are also a little bit cheaper, and I throw that caveat of a little bit because much like the Eva stuff, you have to buy both the armor and the figure. And some of the figures can't use certain armors. So I'm wondering if the version that I bought of this, because everything was in one solid box, is actually a US distribution version, because I'm going to take a wild guess that the Japanese ones, it's going to be the separate candy box displays like the Soto Riders. I could be wrong. So while I'm in Japan, I'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully I can update that further. If you guys have any experience or expertise with these figures, by all means, please share them. I know that I'll be on the hunt for more of these. I kind of enjoyed it. Hey, I have not touched an Eva thing since I was about my kid's age, like graduating high school. No, I think I was out of high school when Eva was on. I don't remember anymore. I remember when it came out, it was like 95, 96. Sounds about right. But I love these weird Eva designs, so, you know, kind of nice to have. And the fact that he has only the one set of hands was kind of surprising, whereas the hands themselves have a little joint, plug, whatever, to attach the various weapons. And the pre-paint really isn't that bad either. I forget which number this one is. I'm going to say like 5 or 7 or something. I'm thinking a prime number. Again, joints are really nice. Pretty stable. Can he keep that pose as he's doing his Matsuri dance? Asore, 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 asore. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so if you're a fan of the Eva designs, if you want to have something to fiddle with on your desk, I gotta say, these probably aren't the worst way you can spend both some time and money. So if it seems like something you might be interested in, do take a look at your local Japanese supermarkets. For those of you not in Japan, obviously, if you're in Japan, well, you'd be in your local supermarkets probably anyways, and knowing that's where they are. But fun little kits. So, with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamerlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.